All right, we're on. All right, so welcome. So this is the Youth Internship Program virtual info session. I'm happy y'all are here. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Of course, if I can figure this out. All right, here we go. Thank you. It's been a long day. All right. So as I said, I'm Amanda Howell. I'm the development director with the Green Heart Project. Carter Edwards is our AmeriCorps Vista, who's helping to oversee a lot of the application process. She could not be here tonight, but there's her contact info. You're welcome to reach out to her as a resource as well. All right, so here's our agenda. We'll do some welcome and introductions. We'll talk a little bit about who we are as an organization, what is the Youth Internship Program and how will it help you succeed. Learn about a day in the life of a Green Heart Youth intern and their crew leaders, application tips and how to apply. We'll take a tour just through some pictures of our downtown urban farm site, and we'll have time for a Q&A. All right, icebreaker. So let's go ahead and say your name, kind of your school or work affiliation, and if you could have dinner with one person living or who has passed on, who would that be and why? We'll give us a minute to think about it. Anyone want to go first? You can go ahead and just unmute yourselves if you're ready.
So I'm Grace. I go to West Ashley. I'm not really sure who I'd have dinner with. I guess just off the top of my head, we learned about Theodore Roosevelt in history pretty recently, and he seemed like a pretty cool guy, so I guess him.
Awesome. Thanks, Grace. Thanks for being here.
Hello, I'm Sasha, and I am a senior at the College of Charleston. And if I could have dinner, I feel like there's a lot of people who could be cool to have dinner with, but one person that came to mind would be my dad's father, my grandfather. He's the only grandparent that I have never met because he passed before I was born, so I think that would be really cool.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm Amanda. I work with the Green Heart Project. My answer this is an icebreaker we did with our high school interns over the summer. My answer then was Michelle Obama, and I still, until I actually get to meet her, I think she's going to stay up there on my list, especially with her interest in school gardens and gardening and nutrition work. And she's an ally in this work, so I think it'd be awesome to meet her. Cool. Thanks, y'all. All right, so the Green Heart Project, who we are and what we do. So we are a local farm to school nonprofit organization. We've been around since 2009. We work alongside school partners and also community partners. Oh, we got one more in the waiting room. Let's see, did they join? Hey, Genevieve, were you just getting started? All right, I'm going to keep going. So we are the Green Heart. Oh, another one. All right. Woo. Briasia and Genevieve, welcome. Y'all, I'm going to get through the slide and then I might pause and have y'all. We just introduced ourselves and did a little icebreaker, but I'm gonna keep going for now. So we're just getting started though, so welcome. So we're the Green Heart Project. Like I said, we're a farm to school nonprofit organization. We've been around since 2009. We work with school and community partners to build school gardens and experiential learning projects to educate students, connect people, and cultivate community through growing, eating, and celebrating food. And we like to say, in short, we grow food, we grow minds, and we grow community. We started with one elementary school garden at Mitchell Elementary downtown that's pictured here. It did not look like this when we first started. It started with 5 raised beds made from cinder blocks that a 3rd grade class actually built over the course of a year as a service learning project. And we were only there for a few years where we really grew this model of involving the students in gardening, growing food, connecting them to the source of their food, teaching their math and science outdoors. We would cook together. We were making salads, doing nutrition lessons, and built our curriculum and this program model. And so, once we realized the learning that was happening there, not only, around science topics or health and nutrition content, but also of mentorship. We were bringing in outside community partners of the service learning that was going on, and we saw these students growing and giving back to their community. We knew that we were onto something special and decided to replicate the model. So come all the way to 2021, we're now working with 13 school and community partners. This picture right here is an aerial shot of our newest site. It is called the Urban Farm at Enston Home. And that's our first farm site. It's 62 raised garden beds, the ½ acre. And it's our first garden site that is not located on the grounds of a school. So it's actually located at King and Eugene Street downtown, and it's within the boundaries of a property owned by the city of Charleston, by the Housing Authority. So residents live in these brick homes, but it is a publicly accessible space that we hope to keep building out as a park and community green space. And so that serves 3 more schools, but also acts as a site for volunteer groups. There's a weekly farmers market stand, and just a site for building community. All right, so it's a little bit about us. How do I go to the next slide? All right, Youth Internship Program, what is it? Why apply? I'm going to play this video we put together. It's a promotional video, and then we will dissect it, but this video is worth more than 1,000 words, so here we go.
The Green Heart Project is a Charleston-based nonprofit organization whose mission is to build school gardens, to educate students, connect people, and cultivate community through growing, eating, and celebrating food. In short, we grow food, grow minds, and grow community. This past summer, we hosted our very first program specifically for high school students. We called it our Youth Internship Program. For 8 weeks, we employed 8 high schoolers for a paid position where they worked 30 hours a week.
My name is Z, I'm 17, and I am a Green Heart intern.
Hello, my name is Jayla Washington, and I'm a Green Heart intern. I'm 16.
The Youth Internship Program's goal is to empower young people to be active leaders who are connected to the land and their community by cultivating skills and knowledge in 3 pillars of the program: career preparedness, healthy living, and citizenship. This past summer, interns helped build our largest site to date, the ½ acre urban farm at Enston Home, and maintained our school garden sites, working in the garden to grow, harvest, and process fruit and vegetable crops. They also ran a weekly pay-what-you-can farmers market stand, building skills in teamwork and leadership. Key themes in our career preparedness pillar, where they also received training in financial literacy, learning to budget, save, and manage money they made through their summer job. They engaged in food education, learning about nutrition, health, and other wellness strategies, and built culinary skills, learning how to turn garden fresh produce into healthy dishes. Finally, they learned to be engaged citizens and environmental stewards, working for their community and taking deep dives into topics such as food systems and sustainability.
The part about this internship is the connections I was able to make with the other interns, the Green Heart staff, and the community residents.
Honestly, it's just a good experience to have, like, in the long run. Like, if you need to do something based on this, you have all the experience. You know how to build beds, you know how to, which plants go in this time of the season, you know how to plant, like, just a lot of hands-on things that, like, not most people would know.
We are now looking to hire our next team of youth interns who will actively help to build a healthier future for themselves and for all of Charleston. Apply now for our summer 2021 program.
All right. So that video says a lot about the program. I hope you got a good feel for it. Oop, it's starting over. No. There we go. All right, gallery walk. So I'm gonna take a couple minutes just to take a deeper dive into each one of those pillars and hopefully give you a better feel for the structure and kind of the day in the life of a Greenheart youth intern. So this is a little bit about the structure. We start every day, so it's Monday through Friday for 8 weeks. We will start every day with a morning meeting. And this is a circle up at the beginning. We check in, we do something called clearings and celebrations. Is there anything you need to that's been going on at home or outside of the program that you need to get off your chest so that you can be present? Is there anything you want to celebrate? We have a weekly theme that we focus on, a skill of the week, things like commitment and community and grit. And we get everyone set up and in the mindset to work that day. Then a part of your work every day will be field work, and that will include things like basic garden and farm maintenance. On Thursdays, that will mostly involve harvesting. So we'll do a big day of harvesting and processing fruits and vegetable crops, which you can see are nice summer crops here, some peppers and eggplant that we were washing to prepare for the farm stand Thursday evening. Every Thursday evening, groups will rotate. So it will be you'll be split into crews. One crew runs farm stand one Thursday, the next Thursday, the other crew will rotate it. So you rotate having a Thursday evening commitment running our farmer's market stand. And then part of your time outside of those hands-on just garden work and farm work and maintenance sessions is educational sessions, outside speakers, community visits. Hopefully we'll get a chance to take some field trips this program. Last year we had some restrictions due to COVID, which we're prepared for this year, but hoping that things will be a little bit looser and safer. So we have educational sessions focused on those 3 pillars. So healthy living, career preparedness, and citizenship, and really get to connect with a lot of different outside partners through that work. So career preparedness. This is a screenshot of our weekly financial literacy session with local bank Pinnacle financial partners who led us through a curriculum called Junior Achievement. It was eye-opening for even some of our older staff, the skills that they taught in financial literacy and how to save your money and budget. These are really hard, important skills, especially for some people. This might be a first job. So that was a really important class. Other parts of career preparedness pillar include workplace and leadership skills, and then business and entrepreneurship, which we taught primarily through our farm stand. So there was the actual running of the farm stand on Thursday evenings, but there were farm stand sessions where we talked about pricing produce, how to price it fairly in the market, how to build customer service skills, how to market your produce and get the word out about our farm stand. So really those hard skills of running our farm stand business. That is career preparedness. Workplace and leadership skills also included like goal setting, resume workshops, academic and career planning. So that is a big pillar. Healthy living, I think, was probably all of our interns' favorites. This included the culinary and nutrition workshops we did 2 to 3 times a week, where we would harvest produce from the gardens and then cook up seasonal dishes, whether that was a full meal or we focused on healthy, how to eat, healthy snacking, how to eat healthy at home, shop for healthy foods on a budget, how to dissect food labels. And we brought in some really cool outside partners, local restaurants, chefs, the registered dietitians to help us lead that. And then it also included mindfulness and wellness sessions on things like stress management, meditation, that social and emotional health as well. So this was a very fun unit. And the last one is citizenship. And this is obviously a very broad category, but for us, this pillar included our food systems unit, environmental literacy, and sustainable agriculture were the kind of main pillars. Here's a quote from our intern Z, reflecting in our weekly journals about the social and economic issue that they learned about, which was food inaccessibility. We talked all about the root causes of that and some exercises as well. All right. And then field work, I talked a little bit about at the beginning. Last year, a big part of this was actually building our urban farm at Untitled. The farm is mostly built for this summer, but there will be, which is huge success, but there will be some garden improvement projects, we call them, that might involve building, using tools, hand tools and power tools to build compost cubes, to build tables, harvesting stations, all sorts of other work. So there will likely be some kind of build components, as well as garden maintenance, weeding, watering, pest management, planting, harvesting, processing fruit and vegetable crops. So that's always a really exciting and active component of the program. Straight Talk. This is another really important part of our program, and it revolved around the idea that we embody at Greenheart around having a growth mindset. And so a big part of our program was giving and receiving feedback, and that is with Greenheart staff, that is for crew leaders, and that is with our youth interns. So each week, we set goals and values at the beginning. Each week we would reflect on, what went well that week, what are our areas to celebrate, things that we were doing well, we can feel proud of, and our areas for growth, areas that we can improve. And so we would self-identify those, and your crew leaders would give you that feedback during a session called Straight Talk. And that's just a really great exercise that will serve you for life, of learning how to give and receive constructive feedback. So that is a big part of our program that, while may have felt a little intimidating at first, by the end, all of our program participants reflected very positively on that. All right, I'm gonna take a little pause here. Any questions so far? Genevieve and Breja, I know y'all jumped in after I'd started talking, but does anyone have questions about, we'll have a big time at the end for Q&A, but anything that's confusing, unclear, anything you want to ask right now, please feel free. I was a teacher, so I give a lot of wait time. All right, hearing none, I'll continue. So the next part is, who are you? What we are looking for in our youth interns and in our crew leaders. So we are looking for someone who is looking to grow personally. I talked a little bit about that with that growth mindset. Someone who is a team player. There will be a lot of collaboration and teamwork happening. A self-starter. So when you know your body of work, you dive right in, ask questions if you need to, but somebody who wants to dive in and get started, hit the ground running. Someone who practices respect. This is a core value of Greenheart. We have 3 rules of respect with our elementary school programs. They translate over into our high school programs. That is, respect yourself, respect your buddies, and respect the earth. That is what we abide by here. And that's a big part of what we do and how we communicate with each other. Speaking of communication, we want people who can communicate well. This is an important part of any job, but especially one where you're active, you're out in the garden, you might be using tools, harvesting, running a business. We need, it doesn't mean that you need to be the most talkative person in the room, but somebody who has ways to communicate well and with the team. And then has an interest in the core topics of the program, which are food, farming, general business and entrepreneurship, healthy living, sustainability, and more. And that and more is on there to say, you do not need to want to be a farmer to join this program. You do not want to be a nonprofit educator, administrator. But if there's anything about, being outside, giving back to your community, learning about cooking, healthy living in general, or just, going through a really immersive program that will set you up on a good path for your academic and career success, this program's for you. So I want to cast a wide net. Our interns had all sorts of different interests, from robotics to starting their own small business to when someone wanted to be a sustainable agricultural therapist. Like we had a lot of different interests last year, and we want that diverse group. So for our youth interns, we are asking that you are 15 to 19 years old by the start of the program, which is now not June 14th, it's June 21st. That's an important note to make. So I need to update that on this slide. That you've completed 9th grade, that you have transportation to and from our urban farm, which is downtown, 900 King Street, that you are available to work during the entire 8-week program. That's June 21st through August 13th, with the exception of the 4th of July. And there are, I'll add a asterisk there that you do have a few days that you can miss for, we know people get sick. We know that some people take family vacations. So as long as you communicate, we generally will work with you. And then that you're available. So the program is Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. roughly. And that should say Thursday, every other Thursday until 6:30 p.m. And that's when our farm stand runs. Bonus, if you have participated in any type of Green Heart program as an elementary school student or have some connection with us, we're always looking for, for this to be a program for our students to continue growing with us. Or if you live downtown near the farm, that is just in our mission to serve, our immediate community of the farm. It is not by any means a prerequisite or something absolutely necessary, but those are little bonuses we'll give to your application. So definitely highlight that if that applies to you. All right, how to apply. Read through our online application. It is live now for the youth interns. It will go live on March 24th for the crew leader positions. Make sure to find 2 adults in your life who can serve as references. So that's someone whose name and number you can put down that is not a family member, who, if you have made it into our final round, we can call them and they can tell us a little bit about your character, your work ethic, and if they think you'd be a good fit for this program. Spend time answering the application questions. You can save and come back. That's a good feature with the application form. What is this doing? So make sure you take time. We know you could fill it out really quickly on your phone. Right now during this meeting, we want you to really think about your answers. They're short response. They don't need to be essays, but we want you to think deeply about them and put some time and effort into them. Since it was a relatively competitive program last year. There's a lot of people who applied for only 8 spots. We have 12 spots this summer, so a few more. Ask for help from your teachers, family, coaches, mentors, people in your life who could support you with writing this application, and submit it by March 31st at midnight is the priority deadline. We will start interviewing in April, so if you can get it in by then, I would really push for that. A formal application will close April 30th if you really needed a few extra days, but I would push for you to get it in by the end of this month. The interview process will begin. The first step is we will invite you to a work and learn, which is a group interview on either March 27th, they're both Saturdays, or April 3rd. We ask that you make one of those. This is a mandatory part of the application process. If you can't, let us know and we'll need to find a time to make it up with you. After that, we will select our top 16 students who will go into the next round of interviews. If selected, you will interview with 2 Green Heart staff through Zoom. And then we will choose the top 12 students to be our youth interns and send job offers. So we will send those by early May. And again, that date needs to be updated. It's June 21st, since CCSD has pushed their academic calendar back. We pushed our program back as well. Here are just some pictures of the farm. I feel like you got a better tour of it in that video, but this is the nice shot of it planted out. This was what it looked like. I believe this was in November. All right, that was a lot of information. I just threw it to y'all, so I would love to open it up now for Q&A. You can just unmute yourself. I'll stop sharing. And if you'd rather ask your question in the chat, I can keep an eye on that. Yeah, Genevieve, yes, that is fine. We are getting some of that. If you will turn 15 in the first half of the program, we're saying that's okay. You're good to apply. Anyone else have questions? I guess before we do that, Genevieve and Briasia, do you mind just unmuting yourselves and say it before you missed our icebreaker, saying your name, kind of what school you go to, and let's do your favorite vegetable.
My name is Genevieve Pfeiffer. I'm from West Ashley High School, and my favorite vegetable is carrots.
Carrots. Awesome. Thank you. Briasia, do you mind going? I hope I'm saying your name right. Name and school, and then favorite vegetable. Or you could type it in the chat if you can't unmute. All right, I'll give you a minute to answer. We can turn it back to Q&A. Does anyone have questions? No, it was just that clear. Grace, what do you
have a
think?
question. That's fine.
You guys, Sasha. I was just gonna start.
One of my questions was, what were some of the field trips that you had planned for last year that ended up not working out because of COVID?
Yeah. So, oh man, we had so many planned. They're generally out to a community partner site. So Vertical Roots is a local hydroponic farm. So to get to go see a different method of growing indoors. Fresh Future Farm was one. So a community farm up in North Charleston. Joseph Fields Farm. So actually getting out to Johns Island and seeing more of the production farms. That are happening. Grow Food Carolina is always a good one when you learn about food systems, to see a food hub and kind of where food goes after the farm before it goes out to restaurants. And then we had some other, like, possibly the Low Country Food Bank, and some just a few other kind of community partner connections. So those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head right now. I know Heron Farms has reached out to us. We talked about going to see like the One Love Kombucha or Dolly Sophia's like fermentation warehouses. We did a pickling lesson with our students as part of the food preservation kind of unit, going out to see that. We wanted to take a beach day just for fun, to go out to the beach together. Those are some of the main ones. Yeah. Open to suggestions though. I'm hoping we get to do some of those this year. Good question. Yeah, it could be questions like that. Questions about the application, we need support, what we're gonna do this summer, highlights from last year. All right, I'll go back to my question. Grace, I was gonna ask you, just your video's on, what of kind of the different pillars that I talked about, so healthy living, career preparedness, and citizenship, or any of the parts of the program, what are you most excited about? What sounds most interesting to you?
So the healthy living part definitely sounds interesting, because especially recently I've been trying to like just eat healthier. Like I've noticed my diet hasn't been the best, so would definitely be cool to learn about. And also like the business, like farmers market aspect of that you're talking about. I think that'll be really interesting.
Cool. Genevieve, how about you? What is one of the more interesting things you heard me say tonight? Something you're excited for?
I think about everything sounds very interesting to me. I think my favorite part is probably like the different places we'll go and like how we'll plant and things like that.
Yeah, that's always fun. I think that was the interns last summer said, like, getting to build the garden, they get to come back and see it, that kind of start to finish process. And I think it's similar with whether it's building or planting, getting to plant something as a seed at the beginning of the summer, or take care of it as a small plant, and then get to see it grow and get to harvest it and hand it out to the community or prepare it into a meal. That whole process is really cool. Awesome. All right, y'all, we'll all hang out. If anyone wants to stay on and has specific questions, I'm gonna finish, I'm gonna stop recording. So thank you for being here.